hope that you'll pray for a few minutes. We'll
help you.
Try to speak a few words and then we'll let that come.
All right.
I've had an awful lot on my mind this morning.
Yeah. Yeah, me too.
And struggle trying to sometimes figure out which way I should go and which direction I should go, and I could be a stumbling block for the Spirit to just come and take over. It seems like when Dad was praying and Papa was preaching, I hear something and it puts something new in my mind. But I've been so thankful.
Yeah.
Just for one more opportunity. We've got work to do. No matter what we're facing, we could probably fill up this little prayer list here, no doubt. Just a handful of us that we are. If we went around, we could probably fill up the entire book. Because that's what this world has for us, is trouble. If not today, then maybe tomorrow. You can go on the TV or news or social media and you can read about the tragedies all over the world. Those boys over in Thailand stuck in that cave. And you can question the Lord. Why? Because of our weak nature. Why? What did they do? You know, and it's just like, and I might get this wrong, but one of them asked Jesus, what sins did their parents commit?
That's right. Who said? Amber's parents.
In this condition. And he looked at them and said, neither. Because that's just how we are. You know what? Even the great leaders and writers of this book, Paul, David, Peter, they were men. They were flesh. They were weak. You know what? David, King David, the man, the boy that stood in front of the giant and brought him down, was an adulterer.
And a murderer.
Peter, the one who went around healing in Jesus' name, was a liar.
Yeah.
Was a liar and a coward. Paul was a persecutor of Christians. He wrote almost half the books in this Bible here. And he was a murderer of Christians. You think about that.
Yeah.
You know what? As long as we're bound to this world here, we're going to fall.
Amen.
Why do you think? Do you think it's any coincidence that when Jesus when he was being beaten and they were killing him, people that didn't love him, and he looked up to his Father and he said, Lord, forgive them. Forgive them. They don't even know what they're doing. Listen, that's where mercy comes in.
Amen.
And you know what? It's just like, it makes me think about when Jesus was talking to him one time. And he was talking about praying and praying It never stopped. Don't stop praying. Listen, he told him a little parable. He said there was a city that had a judge in it. And this man didn't fear God.
Nope.
He wasn't a godly man, and he wasn't a respecter of men either. Didn't care.
Come on.
Listen, and it said there was a widow that came unto him every day, begging him.
Yeah.
Listen.
Yeah.
Begging him to avenge me of my adversary, whatever it was. Listen, and you know what? He would listen. For a while, he disregarded it, but she continued to trouble him daily. And it says, though I fear not God nor man, because she's troubling me, I will avenge her, lest by her continual coming she weary me. Listen, you think about how much Jesus loves us. Won't he listen more than this judge that didn't even fear God? Listen, if you'll pray, if you'll come to him,
That's right.
if you'll just continue to pray, you know what? When I was a young man, a machinist, listen, working just outside Detroit there at 16 Mile Road, listen. You know what? I remember that's where I was working. Listen, when I first felt the calling to preach. Listen, you know what? I found out was that I used to pray about everything. I'd pray, listen, for health. I'd pray, listen, maybe even for some silly things. But you know what I found? You just take it all to God and let Him sort it out. You know what? There was a man there. Listen, when he was a big man, a scary looking fella, tattoos head to toe, a great big burly man, rode a Harley to work every day, and he used to call me little preacher boy, and he'd poke and prod me every day. He'd throw those darts at me and try to tear me down. And he was 33 years old. Listen, and you know what? He just had a little baby about a month prior. And you know what? Last time I spoke to that man, I lost my temper. Listen, said something I ought not have said. The next day at work, I had it on my mind to go and speak to him again. But you know what? I didn't show up for work that day. Listen, and he didn't show up the day after that. Listen, and you know what I found out was then he got feeling bad that day after I lost my temper with him, and he went to the doctors and told him that he's in stage 4 cancer. And less than a month later, he left this world, left that little newborn, left his wife. Lord God, you better believe I've never forgot that. Listen, you better believe then I let the devil get the best of me. Listen, we don't have time to be slack. We don't have time to let one opportunity pass up. Listen, you know what? I'm not going to let my sore back keep me from trying. Just from trying. I've got 3 little ones running around here. Then listen, if this is the last time that I ever get to stand here, you better believe I'm going to spend every breath that I've got trying to tell them to follow me. Listen to Glory Land.
That's right.
You better believe that I'm not going to pass up an opportunity. About 10 years ago, I guess it was, my Uncle Eddie had a tree fall on him. He's 15 years ago. It paralyzed him. And I came down, I was living in Michigan, I came down to stay with him for a summer to try to help him at the mill. Just doing what I could. And you know, there was a great storm that come. And those of you that have spent any time in that part of the country know how quickly those areas can flood. And those hollers in between the mountains. And there was a great storm that come that night. And I happened to be starting up the little holler there. And right at the head of the holler, or at the mouth of it, I guess, there was a single wide trailer, and I knew that there was an old woman that lived there, and she lived alone. And as I began to turn in, all I could see was the rooftop of that little home. And it scared me.
All underwater, wasn't it?
Listen, and you know what? And I got out there, and I was looking around, and I was shouting for her. Her name was Sharon. Listen, and I was shouting for her, and I heard her call. Listen, and she called, and she said I was able to get out, but I got a little dog that's stuck in there. Listen, and me, maybe being a little stupid, I swam out into that little home and got in through a window. Listen, and I seen that little dog floating on a pillow cushion, and I just reached out and grabbed him and swam back. Listen, and when I gave it to that old woman, she started crying a little bit, and I said, I bet you was doing an awful lot of praying when the storm came and that water began to fill up. And I'll never forget what she told me. She looked at me and she said, nope, I'm all prayed up. That's how I want to be. When the storm comes, I don't want to have to pray because I've done it here. While I've had the opportunity, don't let it slip. You've got time. You've got opportunity.
Good to be able to say that.
Not everybody can.
Not everybody can say that. There's so much joy in serving God.
Amen.
It's so good. People don't even understand the joy that I have.
No.
It's greater than anything this world's ever had to offer me. And I've tried it all. But I love when the Spirit begins to move. It's just like when they came to John, the one crying in the wilderness. And he was starting to baptize them there. And no doubt it was a good day. Listen, but all he was doing was preparing the way for somebody else that was coming. And he told them, he said, I'm baptizing you with water. Listen, but there's one coming.
Yeah, Lord.
Listen, whose shoes I'm not even worthy to untie. Listen, he's going to baptize you with fire and with the Holy Spirit. Listen, when the Spirit begins to move, it feels like fire to me. Listen, I feel when I get down, when this world gets me down, and the Spirit begins to move, I feel that fire begin to build. Listen, aren't you glad that when troubles come, we can lay them in His hand and say, Lord, Lord, help me one more time. And you can sleep easy.
Yeah.
You can sleep easy knowing that you've put it in the one's hand that can take care of it. I think about those boys in that cave. Such a horrible thing.
No doubt they're scared.
No doubt. The fear and the worry even for their parents.
Yeah.
And I think about just a few years ago, that other cave-in down there in Chile.
Yeah.
Those miners.
Yeah.
For 3 months they were underground.
That's amazing.
3 months they were underground, and I read a little story. Listen about it. I'll tell it, Dad, then you come on.
Satisfy your heart.
You know what? It was kind of the same situation there. There wasn't a whole lot of hope. There was about 30 of them down in there that they caved in. The mine collapsed and caved in. Listen, and you talk about being in a dark place where there is no light, none at all. Listen, and you know what? No doubt they were scared. Listen, but you know what? The oldest one of them men was 76 years old, mining in a cave. Listen, you think you got it rough? You think you got it rough? No doubt. Just trying to provide for his family. Listen, and you know what? It said then, the little article I read said then he would read scriptures to him or quote scriptures. Listen, to try to keep them strong, to try to help them there, and he would sing some hymns to them. Listen, and when they were finally able to drill in and slip them in some food, little canned food, all those men, they'd take it to him and offer it to him first. Listen, and he wouldn't let them give it to him. He'd say, nope, you go ahead, I'm okay. You think you was prayed up? He'd tell them, don't worry about me. You need it more than I do. And when they were finally able to get a big enough hole drilled down there, listen, when they sent that first rescue worker in, they took him straight to that old man, and he wouldn't let him. He said, nope, you go ahead. Start with these young men here. He'd tell him, I'm okay, you go ahead, listen, and he was the last one that they brought out of that cave for 3 months. You talk about when that light hit him, and as soon as they got him out of that hole, they tried to rush him to the paramedics there, and he shook him off and got down on his knees. Out of the belly of hell I cried. by reason of mine affliction, and the Lord heard me. Blessed be the name of my Lord. Where's your faith this morning? What is it that you're leaning on? Listen. What is it that you're holding on to that's more powerful and more comforting than my Lord is?
Your priorities straight.
I couldn't make it a day without the comfort of knowing that I am His.
Amen.
And that He is mine.
Yeah.
What a comfort that is.
Thank you, Lord.
Don't wait. Today is the day of salvation.
Yeah, buddy.
Come on, Dad.
Tomorrow might be too late.
Satisfy your heart.